Namaskar, I welcome you all to this series on war strategies. Why do we need to explore the war strategies? This question we have attempted to answer in the very first episode of this series. And today I want to share the future plans. Reading, observing, and analyzing trends, historical processes, social change, and different dynamics of a group, society, culture, or civilization are some of the important aspects of the warcraft. Every nation does that on the others. Earlier, such aspects were considered as an integral part to the intelligence research. And there was a scientific process behind that includes collecting the information, sorting that information, deriving the meaningful insights from that, then formulating some hypotheses and some estimations out of that. And the key objective was to predict the human behavior and psychology with a high degree of exactitude. Today we call this process with a new name, and the name is the big data. And this big data is the backbone of almost all the smart tools and the technology platforms that we use today in our daily lives. This big data also gives an age to the owners of these platforms, and that age is called the artificial intelligence. Now, we are in a very interesting situation at this moment. The case of the Bharat is a bit unique. We generate more than 50% of the big data of the world, and we are the biggest consumer of the artificial intelligence products as well. But we don't have the ownership and the control to use our own data. That means the outside forces have the capabilities to not just read, observe, and estimate our moves, but to do experiments on us as well through their platforms and daily improvisations, new trends, celebrities, and this new breed of social media influencers. What the best we can do in this situation? While the attempts to protect our digital sovereignty are going on, in parallel to that, we can start exploring the minds of those who have a keen interest to know us. Why? Because by knowing the different intentions, we can build a better strategy for ourselves, defensive and offensive, both. And as it is often said, that the mind works best in crisis and in a warlike situation. So, by that logic, war strategies are the best practices of different societies and cultures of the world, and their understanding will certainly enhance our creative abilities and critical thinking. With this view in mind, I decided to cover different war strategies of the world in this series with different perspectives. In the very first 3 episodes of this series, I introduced the approach of the samurai mind, the Mushin state, the state of mind called Mushin, I also explored some aspects of the Bharatiya Warcraft, आचार्य श्री विष्णुगुप्त चाणक्य जी के अर्थशास्त्र के कुछ अंश, and then we explored some research works on the philosophy and methodology of intelligence. In the future episodes, we will try to cover The Art of War by Sun Tzu and other war strategies and war-related folk tales from the Chinese strategic culture. We will try to explore the different aspects from the lessons of the samurai warriors of Japan, particularly those that are mentioned in their books like The Samurai Mind, The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, Hagakure, and others. Then we will also try to explore the Western strategic thoughts, their doctrines and philosophies, those that are mentioned in their classic text like Machiavelli's The Prince, Machiavelli's Art of War. We'll try to explore the Persian military thinker Karl von Clausewitz, French strategist Antoine Henry Zumini, his Art of War book. We'll also try to explore Russia's deception strategy, Maskiro Waka, and other tactical war and military related doctrines of the world. If you also think that this idea is relevant in the current scenario, and if you are interested to contribute financially in this initiative, then you can connect with us and you can write a mail to us at team@a2zstartup.com or team@defenseindustry.in. Namaskar.